was chaos given form, a home for nonsense, homosexuals, allies, and neurodivergence. The year is 2025. The name of the thing is Salon 5. I am Gray, and welcome to Salon 5. Joanne, Will, Trevor, how we doing? We haven't just been doing a whole bunch of recording together.
I know. It's so good to see you guys.
Yes.
I can't believe it's been since Thursday.
Jump engines are online. We are jumping to the other space station franchise. Babylon 5 inches, average is fine. It gets the job done. And hello to our 3 viewers. If you're with us on, so sorry to our Canadian friends. That's interesting. Hello, Benji. Today we are talking about the second half of the first season of Babylon 5. We are still in the Sinclair episodes, so it's going to be a little weird.
Sure.
For reasons.
Let's get into it.
You bitch! You bitch! Oh my god! I thought it was frozen. I was gonna take a quick screenshot because I was like, that's a fun face, but
Yeah.
I can't give the bit away. All right.
Trevor, if I recall, we do this sporadically enough where I'm like, wait a minute, what happened on the last episode of Babylon 5? So we're on Salon 5. So you're
Last
gonna
time
do
on,
this, and we
last
get
time
it
on Salon 5.
last time on Salon 5. You're gonna talk about you're gonna give us the synopsis. We're going to talk about it, and then we are going to give it 1 through 4 or 5 Star Furies to rate it.
I believe we landed on 4. Sorry, Joanne. As not to skew it in the direction of like somebody just picking average. I think we tried to give it on a 1 to 4 scale.
Got it. And why stick with the Babylon 5 theme when we're talking about it?
Babylon 4 is important.
Yes. Spoilers. But we are going to see Babylon 4 in this episode. So let's talk about it. Trevor,
yes.
Do we set an intention? I don't know what we're doing.
No, that doesn't happen in this franchise.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right.
The intentions are clear.
Yes.
We hit this thing raw. We don't even preheat that oven. We just go right in.
Word for word, as written, JMS will not be substituted. Let's get into it then. Trevor, take us to our first episode, please.
I'd love to. Babylon 5, Season 1, Episode 13, Signs and Portents. A Centauri noble comes to Babylon 5 to transport an important Centauri relic in Londo's possession back to the homeworld. Meanwhile, a mysterious man visits all of the alien ambassadors, asking them an unusual question.
What do you want?
What do you want?
I forgot this is where we get Morden. This is his introduction, right?
This is his introduction.
Yeah.
Unless you count his appearance at the in the pilot.
Right.
Because I don't think they say his name.
Can I say something that's going to trigger you to do a thing?
Yes, please. I mean, it's not. Oh, yes. Yes.
Morton could get it.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Even as a kid, that man, attractive.
Yeah. Even post event in season 4 that I won't spoil.
Mm-hmm.
You can get it. Yeah. Well, then I'll say I'll peel back his scales.
I was going to say even with that horrible 90s hair, but sure. Scales too.
Yeah.
Scales too.
I'll rub in some aloe vera.
Ugly crime hoodie.
Yes.
as well.
Yeah, this introduces Morden, which is gonna have carry through all the way to season 4. The Paso Liardi, whatever, with Jacob from Stargate.
Mhm.
It moves along Londo's, like, he's losing friends, he's allying the wrong people. So it's interesting. End of my thoughts.
Yeah, it's the beginning of a lot of it lays the groundwork, I guess, for a lot of really interesting and important things. But at the time when I first watched it, I was kind of like, you could tell, like, okay, I should be paying attention, but I don't know why. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
had this
That
air
happens a
about it.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Where it's like,
especially with
oh,
Morden.
this feels important, but I don't know why.
But I
Yeah.
don't know why. And
Character.
he's going around and like, what do you want? And I'm like, okay, this is what is this?
Yeah. That's normally what I tell people when they come to me, not the opposite. People come to me, what do you want? That's normally what I'm
One simple question.
It's literally the recording on Will's voicemail.
Honestly, it probably could.
It should be. You should say it just like that.
What do you want?
This episode for me is one that I like to, as I'm further along in the series, just randomly come back and rewatch, because I do like to watch B5, from beginning to end. I don't really jump into random episodes much, but I do like to periodically during a rewatch jump back to this one because of how much it builds up.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure. And I also liked, this the Sinclair Garibaldi moment too.
Mhm.
Like, I love Sinclair. So, but I thought that was a good, and particularly for the time, like, the male friendships and inviting kind of people into your circle of trust. You just didn't see it, I don't think, at that level. You know, you could probably argue you still don't, but you definitely didn't see it like that in the 90s. So I thought that I liked that too. That was a really important moment.
Shall we
this
launch
episode's
some
really
Star
good.
Furies? Nope. Will
Yeah.
has
No.
more thoughts, please.
I was just gonna say it's a great the Morden as a character is asking people what they want. It's a great way to build that character, build towards what happens later in the series, but also get to know people a little bit better, especially like Jakar and Londo and how they're very opposed in what they want.
Yeah.
So it's a good it's a good way to get to know them a little bit better. We're halfway through the season, so we get to know them even more. We get to know more subtext about them.
Kind of like in the musicals. Like this was the TV version of the, what is it? I want song or I wish song
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
moment, you understood everybody's motivations and, kind of where they were trying to go. So I get that
Exactly.
too. Yeah, that's a good technique. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for those reasons and more, I'm giving it 4 Star Furies.
Same.
I agree. 4. It was a good episode.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I only gave it 3. I saved my 4s up. I reserved my 4s.
I'm everyone's getting a 4. I just
You can get a 4. You can get a 4.
Look under your seats.
Y'all Oprah-ing those 4s. Shall we move on?
Let us.
Season 1, episode 14, TKO. Garibaldi is surprised when an old friend comes to Babylon 5 to fight is it Mutai?
Mutai? Yeah.
Mutai? I feel like I always mispronounce it. A savage alien fighting arena. Meanwhile, I like how they had to describe it though. Meanwhile, Ivanova has trouble dealing with her father's death. That is not how I would have written it, but it's better than the other.
Meh. Like,
yeah, it's kind of a filler episode.
yeah, it felt like filler, and it felt like there was some interesting stuff, but like the boxer is just arrogant throughout. He doesn't even really fully learn the lesson of like respecting this other culture. Like he half gets there, but then he gets to participate, so he gets exactly what he wanted pretty quickly. And then also the Mutai, like I wish they made it even more alien, because at the end of the day, it was just another boxing match. Like there wasn't anything that different. It wasn't like Ambu Jitsu where you have those weird American Gladiator outfits. You know, it was yeah, it wasn't. I wish it was a little more alien to like sell that point.
Yeah. I like the Ivanova plot to a certain extent. But yeah, I don't really remember this episode that much.
This is when Worf's dad visits.
Yeah.
Worf's dad is the rabbi.
Yes. Yeah. It's just not it's I don't know. I tend to not gravitate towards the Garibaldi episodes. Like later on, he becomes slightly more interesting, but I find him to be very unlikable in a way that's not endearing. Like I don't find myself endeared to him really. So like this is like a light 2 to me. I just you know.
I do like both the offer and then later Ivanova's acceptance of like to take time off to sit Shiva for her. Like there's something cool about Babylon 5's lack of fear when it comes to just showing Earth religion and showing religion in general, and that it's part of culture, as opposed to the Roddenberry approach of like, let's just not look at it. Yeah. It continues to exist. It has meaning for people. It has different meaning for different people. Like not every human Jewish person is perceived to be exactly the same in this universe. Like clearly it means something different to Ivanova than it meant to her father, but she's still going to honor the tradition. Like it just, it's a cool nuance that this early on is really neat to see kind of honored in B5.
I have to agree. I'm going to say something controversial yet brave. I know this is not a popular episode, but it is actually one of my favorite episodes just because of these character moments and, you know, these discussions about, you know, what's important to us and what motivates us. I mean, because that was kind of Walker's whole thing. You know, he was like, you know, where do you go when you've been the best? And then Ivanova trying to deal with her death and the death of her father and all of those feelings and what you know, what that means. And I don't know, I just thought it was just such a brilliant kind of character study, even though, you know, it was a weird sort of little story. But I don't know, I loved it for just the character beats of it, even though it didn't really do anything to the overall kind of plot. So and I liked I liked Walker. Um and I think there was like a little parallel, like Walker Smith is like Sugar Ray Robinson's real name, right? So I thought that might have been a little commentary or a little, you know, kind of Easter egg as well. So I thought that was nice too. So I mean, I get why people are like, ugh, but I was just like, oh, this is fascinating. So I really loved it, actually. It's not a 4, but I enjoyed it.
Well, that's a good segue into how many Star Furies would you give it?
It's a 3 for me. It's a 3. It's a 3. 3 all day.
Yeah. That's a 2. It's a 2, unfortunately.
The boys gave it 2s. Joanne gave it a 3. All good.
Deuces.
I love I enjoyed the character stuff of it. I just thought that the overall story was a little wonky, but I appreciate.
No, I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
I'm a weirdo.
Wonky is welcome at Babylon 5.
I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo.
That should be our new theme song.
We'll get hit with it. We'll get hit with a copyright.
I
thing
know. I was
so
just like,
quick.
oh, I hope we don't
Oh
get a
my
strike.
God.
I'm sorry. I hope we don't get.
You didn't do enough of the song. You didn't do enough of the song. You're fine. Get about 30 seconds before they start getting you.
Season 1, episode 15, Grail. A man comes to Babylon 5 asking the alien ambassadors for information that can help him with his quest to find the Holy Grail, while a down-below gangster gives security problems by mind-wiping all who oppose him. This is another weird one for me.
Yeah. There's some fun moments here, but there is some weirdness. Like, even Delenn was kind of weird with, like, this. I know this person is coming to the station. Why are you here? Like, bitch, say more. Say more words. Like I am here, so I did not know this guy was coming. What's it to you, Ambassador? Fucking Minbari with their cryptic nonsense all the goddamn time.
Yeah. The fuck? Yeah. Yeah, she was a little strange in this one.
It's especially frustrating because, like, we already have a cryptic ambassador. It's Kosh. Like, we don't need to add fuel to the fire. Like, there's already someone here to give us weird, random one-word answers. Like, say more.
Yeah.
I did appreciate the guy who is like the good luck charm for the station. I appreciate he has a distinct look. I love that about Babylon 5. Is there, like, this is a fucked up way of saying it, but, like, it's not just hot people in this show. There are lots of hot people. Obviously, Ivanova, Dr. Franklin, others, but, like, they cast some weird looking people in some of this shit, and I love it.
Yeah.
Diversity in other ways.
Diversity. Well, I think they used, I don't know if it was for this one, but I know, well, because the budget was so low, I know they used a lot of the crew a lot of the times for a lot of the back shots and the back shots, the wrong word.
Back up. Mama.
Or was it?
Or was it? Or was
The
it?
back
Talk
shots
to
sound
us,
like Shark
JMS.
Furies. Yeah. Oh
Talk
my
to us,
God.
JMS. But for the background, you can see where my mind is. So, you know, I think he just had maybe JMS has a different aesthetic, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
You don't have to hit the button, but I'm counting that as a host question.
I was about to, and then, like, the moment passed, and I didn't want to
off
cut
the
off.
rhythm.
Yeah.
But it counts.
It's a host squadron moment for sure.
For sure. I don't know. This guy, this moment, this episode, I was just like, oh, I bet you he gave me very Patrick Stewarty kind of vibes.
David
I don't
Warner.
know why.
Yeah. Yeah, well, David Warner, he's in Final Frontier. He plays Chancellor Gorkon.
Chancellor Gorkon, yeah.
So he's a
Gol
pedigree for
Madrid.
sure. Yes, yeah. So he's definitely been around in lots of sci-fi. I think he's English, I believe. But yeah, no, wonderful. That was one of the highlights of this. Is I love that he's in there. I do think him walking around with the little stick is a little much.
Yes,
it's like, oh, he's looking for the Holy Grail. I got my stick. Like, girl, what the fuck are you doing? Like, his little
you
cage,
shall
like,
not
girl.
pass. What?
Yeah, it's very Gandalf.
Very Gandalf. He's giving very Gandalf.
Yeah, give me Gandalf tease. But yeah, I always I appreciate him showing up and stuff. But yeah, it's a little some of the it's a little heavy-handed. This Babylon 5, which sometimes can be a little heavy-handed. This was a little eat your vegetables, kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I did like JMS is pretty good at this. Is like there are little slivers of, like, how the station operates. Like, we see their judicial system, which is really cool because, like, yeah, you would need in a space station far away, like, you can't just ship everybody off to go be tried elsewhere. You would need not just a holding cell facility. You would need to be able to distribute justice in this.
Yeah.
Because Babylon 5 is a city.
I was going to say because of the sets and because of what they could do with special effects when we look out at those matte paintings outside of every window, it's easy to forget that a 5-mile long space station with 250,000 people on it needs to function in that way. And it's easy to get sucked into, like, just like, oh, there's a room, and then down the hall are all the other rooms that we always see, because the set is so easily mapped out in your mind.
it's easy to fall back into kind of the Star Trek of it all, where it's like, oh, we don't see this kind of infrastructure. There's not these people, like to constantly reiterate that there's like a government, that there's like systems put in place here, not military, but they're more democratic in a certain way.
Yeah, the creativity around the world, the creativity that was necessary in order to show the world building that he wrote.
Yeah,
I think that one set was like 18 different rooms.
right. We have those good modular sets, but yeah.
No. So for this episode, I'm gonna give it 2 Star Furies.
Yeah, that feels about right. Yeah,
It's a 2 for me. It's a 2.
Yeah.
2s across the board.
Anytime someone brings up like the Holy Grail or like a Christian thing or like Ark of the Covenant, like my brain doesn't go Indiana Jones. It goes like, are you going here now? It gives me like later seasons of Stargate SG-1 where it's like, do we have to bring in Merlin and magic? Like what is this? You know, that's what anytime I see like the Holy Grail or something like that, it always throws me into that where it's like, have you run out of ideas? It's like, okay, we don't need to do that. But yeah, 2.
Yeah. Or I thought it'd be deeper maybe than it was, or like, I don't know. The Holy Grail is the friends we make along the way or whatever, but you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They had discovered it all along.
You know. But then the fact that Jinxo kind of leaves but he's on this I don't know. It's just I don't know. It didn't resolve the way I thought it would. So
right.
For something
my
called
dear, you're
Grail.
wearing the Holy Grail on your shoes. Just click them together 3 times.
Just click them together
very
3
that.
I
times.
could have got home this whole time.
This whole time.
Who the hell are you to teach me a lesson?
Is this that Mad TV sketch?
Yes.
The best Mad TV sketch to ever be written.
Fucking good. Stephanie Weir.
I had to go walk around with these 3 dudes. I had to sit with my hands between my legs. Yeah. You bitch. Yeah, it's so funny.
To teach you a lesson.
My parents are dead. Anyway, that's on the Patreon. We'll talk about that on the Patreon. You're not my parents. My parents are dead. Anyway.
Episode 16. Eyes. Sinclair's decisions of the last year catch up with him when an internal affairs investigator arrives to test the crew's loyalty to Earth Force with the help of a telepath, is the world's longest sentence. And Lanier shows great interest in Garibaldi's attempt at assembling a 1990s motorcycle.
The random B story once in a while.
Yeah.
And Babylon 5 has like a more wild departure in their B story than Trek ever does. It's like this very deep, serious thing is happening. Oh, and Lanier builds a like it's very TNG season 8 from Mike McMahon.
It gives like Family Matters later seasons where it's like the parents are going through a divorce. Urkel makes a time machine. It's like it's like parents are dealing with like they might be losing their home, the mortgage or whatever.
And they clone Stefan.
Yeah, Urkel discovers the best recipe for a pumpkin cheesecake. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? They're weird. Like, throw that in real quick.
Every once in a while, every once in a while, Lanier becomes Will Robinson, and it bothers me.
Yes.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I always forget that part of this episode because I love this episode because I think it's very interesting what's happening with Sinclair, and it further develops the like, oh, he has a missing day, what's going on with that mystery, and it is both like it's not that heavy-handed, but the Colonel is so heavy-handed, over the top, pulls me out of the story sometimes, but like in a fun, campy way. Like that actor's terrible. Like he is terrible, but somehow it kind of fits in Babylon 5, which is not meant to be a read. It's like Sinclair wasn't that great of an actor, but you know, Claudia is fantastic. Jerry Doyle is really interesting in this episode. And like I don't think Sinclair is bad. I just don't think he Michael O'Hare wasn't the strongest actor this season.
Michael makes weird choices.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with the material, and the delivery's fine. It's like there are just choices in his performance, and I do wonder. I'm sure there's a site or another podcast that talks about. I have no idea, but I'm sure there's some through the history of it all when Michael O'Hare's mental health began to deteriorate. Like when did
Yeah.
that start? Because
Yeah.
I kind of feel like his choices made sense in the first couple of episodes, and then like
Yeah.
it does start to kind of go askew. So I don't know how much
How
of
much is
life
that reflecting?
You
is
know, I
interfering in
think it
the art.
is right about now. Cause
Yeah.
it is right about now.
But
That
it's because I say all that to say it felt like he had the ability. It's
Mhm.
just he was making odd choices, and that's why I wonder like what was it?
Yeah.
that caused it?
And I'm glad you brought that up, because like I don't mean to
Yeah.
disparage somebody going through shit, but
No,
like
you weren't. You
yeah.
weren't. Yeah.
But this
No.
episode, like I like that there are little bits of the mystery that we're learning. Like we also learned that like Commander Sinclair was like the 15th choice, but
Yeah.
the Minbari were like no. Oh, that one, sure.
Yeah.
But like
That's
Colonel Ironside was apparently supposed to get it ahead of him, and that like how is that guy still in the service?
but that is the unproduced episode of Babylon 5 that I want to see, where it's just like the Minbari are constantly just like no.
Yeah. They're like, we'll get to this person eventually. Like
Yeah.
it's just the one admin who comes in. How about this person today? Someone
Mhm.
goes, no. I'm like, oh fuck. I have to interview another
And that's
fucking
not like-
person.
Who did
And
they
then-
approve for Babylon's 1, 2, 3, and 4?
Well, they all blew up or got
Yeah.
time abducted.
They all went away.
But like that's the I used a prop, but it would have been better if it was just like nonstop actors. Like they just brought people in, and the Minbari's like sitting there like a bunch of casting agents. They're just like no.
The one beleaguered recruiter that has to find them. Like I put it back up on LinkedIn again.
Yeah. They have the Triluminary, and they're like, no. When the bell rings, I'll know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It's not
No.
tickling my pyramid. It's not happening.
So I'm gonna give this one 3-star Furies.
Okay.
Wayoon.
Well, I was like, wait, but you know what? That's also why I think that for me anyway, I was just like, oh, not that they're bad actors, but I was just like, Jeffrey Combs is so good that I mean, he was just like, there was a stark kind of contrast. I was like, whoo.
Yeah. I love Jeffrey Combs. As like I see more stuff with him in it, and like I hunt
Okay.
down like these shitty B movies he's done in like the 80s. Like I love everything he does. Like he's so good. But yeah. This episode it is very much like, oh, he showed up and everyone's like, oh fuck, we have to like
We got to level up, because you could. I could feel it, and I don't usually pay attention or mind those kinds of things, but I could feel it because I was like, oh, Jeffrey is kind of making them look bad.
His scenes with Ivanova, especially, were fantastic.
Yeah, I think she's one of the stronger actors on the show, so I think she could kind of stand toe to toe with him and not look ridiculous. But yeah,
it was a 3 for me as well.
I think it's a 3 for me for story and how it was resolved. I love when anything comes together because of connection and the power of relationship, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like I think that's important. So
I give it a light 3. It would be more of a 3 if we didn't get this whole motorcycle Urkel subplot we got. But who gives a shit? I don't give a fuck about this fucking motorcycle. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Where are you gonna ride it, Garibaldi? Where the fuck are you gonna ride it? Anyway,
you hate Garibaldi.
I have issues with him. I have issues. bless the actor. I appreciate.
Is
that
it because he
person.
won't let his hair go?
Partly.
He's holding on.
Mama,
holding
who
on
are you
to it.
fooling? Yeah, well, at least he eventually shaves his head. So at this point, he's still clinging on to the fantasy, but he eventually does, go give us the full Trev. But it's a 3, but I begrudgingly give it a 3.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, we were all once
Don't judge me,
again.
bitch.
We were all aligned. Doesn't happen often, but I just, even if it happened begrudgingly, I appreciate it. Season 1, episode 17, Legacies. A Minbari war cruiser comes to Babylon 5 to display the body of the recently dead Minbari leader, while Ivanova and Talia battle for the fate of a young girl with newly discovered telepathic powers.
Another terrible guest actress, but
Mama.
Whoa. My note for this episode was, how did she get this job?
yeah,
Like
I
don't
ugh.
terrible.
I thought she was Molly from Deep Space Nine grown up. Like,
Ah! Oh, God.
horrible.
do I only
Horrible.
have these 2 choices? Do I have any other choices?
The airlock, bitch. God damn.
God,
I think she finally quit acting, if I remember correctly. She didn't do
Good.
much after this. So like one thing
Well,
and then was like, no.
I think acting quit her.
Well, acting quit her. Yeah. I don't know how I can quit you.
Girl,
exactly-
they left in the middle of the night, Mama. They
Gotta
packed up and
go.
left.
Gotta go.
When exactly did she start acting?
Yeah, she never started.
And Andrea Thompson and Claudia Christian, like I just want to see them side-eyeing each other in these scenes, like this girl, because it's such a powerful story and it's so good between Talia and Susan. Like I love the story that's happening. It's just like, yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woof. Yeah, she really is a lead balloon on this episode, because if you had a young actress to play this, like, it could have definitely like elevated the story even more. But yeah, she's struggling to even like remember how to breathe on screen. Like, that girl can't do nothing. Like, it's such a bummer, because like the relationship between Talia and Susan, kind of this sort of, whatever's happening between them. Yeah, like, ooh, what is this? Like, oh, ooh, like,
Joanne has
like,
seen through season 2, so we can talk about
Oh yeah.
okay. Enemies.
I'm a third of the way through season 4, so we're good.
Okay, great. Yeah, this enemies to lovers situation. Yeah. I'm just like, yes, but then you get fucking this bitch where it's like, oh goddamn, yeah. What was the B plot on this one? I don't remember what.
You mean the A plot was the
the dead body? Yeah.
The dead body.
Right. You could tell how
the Minbari bother me.
That part.
Everyone, like, they get more interesting to me, but this was one of the episodes, like this and a little bit in the second season. I'm just like, these weird Vulcan Klingons, like, just be more direct. God damn it. Like, you are your own problem. Like, Delenn could have said at the jump, like, we're gonna cremate this bitch. All right. Before the war, he was whatever. But I do love Naroon. This is when we're introduced to Naroon in this one.
Yeah. The Minbari talk like leprechauns guarding a bridge. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, just be direct. Oh, I can't cross this. I have to solve a riddle. Great. I don't need you coming out with a pan flute. It's like, shut the fuck up. Like, it's so, yeah. I do grow weary of them sometimes. It gets better. Maybe I just get used to it. But like early on, it's like, oh my God.
It's particularly frustrating because they get the more help they need, the more cryptic they become.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, the more important it is, the less they're willing to tell you what the fuck they're talking about.
Right. That's exactly it.
Before I tell you what's wrong, answer these riddles 3.
I have a
What-
finger trap we have to
what-
solve. Ooh.
What travels the world without ever leaving a corner?
I have
Oh, no,
this Rubik's cube you must solve before I'll tell you what I'm doing.
I
Okay.
can't possibly move on until you answer that question.
A postage stamp.
Oh, fun.
You're earning a
Oh,
ton.
oh my god. I almost shot wine all over my bed, but
Oh, fine.
oh, wow.
And now you will help me cremate this body.
It just makes me feel like I want to do that from now on at my front door.
Yes.
Whenever people come over. Just,
Before I sign for this package, you must answer this question. Oh God.
what do you want? No.
I'm gonna give it 3-star Furies.
Yeah, it's a 3.
It would be 4 with a better actress as the telepath.
No, I changed my mind. It's a 2. It's a 2. It's not a 3. That
Yeah,
girl,
I'm
that
on
girl
the
kills
fence.
it.
I love the whole Naroon Sinclair thing, but
Joanne, how many Star Furies are you going to give the episode?
You must
But,
solve a
ooh,
riddle first.
but
Yeah.
I want to fight that girl. I want to fight her. Uh,
I would
can I
pay to see that.
2.5 it? I'll 2.5 it. Can I do that?
I don't think there are rules here.
Okay.
None that I'll remember.
Right.
Fair.
Do we want to talk about the next two are a two-parter? Do we want to combine them or do we want to split them out?
Let's combine.
Let's combine them.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like
Yeah.
Captain Planet. Okay. Season 1, episodes 18 and 19. A Voice in the Wilderness, parts 1 and 2. Strange signals begin emanating from Epsilon 3, the planet Babylon 5 orbits. A science ship is sent to investigate, but is fired upon by a defense system on the planet. When a revolt against the Earth-appointed government breaks out on Mars, Garibaldi worries about a former lover stationed there. Because that's what you're supposed to worry about when a rebellion breaks up. Part 2. This situation becomes more tense when an Earth Force heavy cruiser arrives at the station to quote-unquote protect Earth's interests. And the fusion reactors on Epsilon 3 begin to act erratically, threatening to destroy the planet and Babylon 5. Discuss.
I like these episodes. They're clunky in parts. Like why the Hyperion shows up, like how they knew about anything. Like I think needed a touch earlier in the episode of like I sent my status report to the whatever, like something. Yeah.
Yeah.
More Minbari nonsense, but it works. Londo as a pilot was kind of fun.
I think it's super weird that you build this 5-mile long space station in orbit of a planet that you've never set foot on.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
we didn't go down there and look around. Like nobody.
Well, I thought they said they did like some initials, but they didn't go deep or
Yeah.
whatever or something. I don't know. I know, right? But
Yeah.
That's why they didn't come sooner.
Yeah, because they didn't go deep.
It's called Babylon 5, not Babylon 7.5, 8.
Yeah. Babylon average.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is our first two-parter, if I'm correct, like actual, like part 1, part 2. And yeah, I dare I say I think they could have done it in one episode.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it
They
needed to be
could have done it in
2.
one.
And I think that's why it gets clunky. Because like I love the introduction of like the rebellion on Mars, like that kind of that very interesting politic we're getting with like the Earth Alliance and all that. Like that's very interesting where the Earth is less the Star Trek monolith of like utopia perfection, how there's a lot of issues at home, and which kind of come to roost later on in the series. So like I love the introduction of that. I just some of his other stuff, I'm just like, there's a lot of detritus on this episode story wise. I think probably could have been cleared to make it one, or maybe clear some of that and flesh out some of these other things. But yeah, it's definitely clunky.
Yeah, they could have cut out the Hyperion entirely, or had the ship there from the jump as like we're here on a respite as we're about to start another mission, and then this shit happens, and the commander, the captain goes, just not randomly showing up. I think they try and failed it 2 or 3 times to go to the planet. They could have cut that back. These definitely could have been one episode. They're good episodes, but they could have cut it into one.
Yeah.
I liked it though. Like,
I think
I enjoyed
they're good.
them.
Yeah,
They're good. Like, I enjoyed. I really didn't have any notes on it, and I loved kind of Draw meeting him in the first sort of thing. I don't know, him and Delenn. It just, Draw was like, that's like, I mean, it's his mentor, but they just had that, my gay best friend kind of vibe. Like, have I told you how much? Thank you for just taking me. You have, and have I told you thank you for feeding me? You have, you know. And just like, I just want to listen to you talk. And she's like, oh, I will talk and talk until you fall asleep and I'll die happy. It was just very like, girl, let's have some mimosas. And
I think 3 centuries before this episode, there was a sitcom on Minbar called Drawl and Delenn.
Drawl and Delenn.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love that whole thing. And again, it's just this whole theme of, what is my purpose and role in the universe? And, when have I, just like call back to TKO, how do I top my very best? What's next for me? What does the universe require of me? What's my rent for my service? I think, it was just really compelling and exciting. I loved it. Relationship, intrigue. I had no notes for either one of these. I mean, I get the little clunky parts. I get it. And I think you're right, Will. It could have been one just really tight episode, but I loved these. Loved them.
Yeah. I think this sitcom should have been Drawl in the Family.
You're making me regret that I don't give bonus points during.
You can give me bonus points for that one.
You said there are no rules. There are no rules.
There's no rules. I give bonus points for that, Mama.
Remind me in 2 Thursdays when we're with
There we go. Yeah. I'll get my bonus points then. Yeah.
I mean, can't you hear them? You can hear the theme music. He's like, I will die happy.
Yeah. I think they switched actors for this character later on.
Yeah.
And I think they picked a better person. Like,
the
guy they have now is really good, but like the guy that they pick later, I always remember him. He's the one character from the Golden Girls that ends up but that's the politician who ends up being trans. They make this joke that he was like an Italian. Yes, it's the same actor. And I always remember every time I see him later on in the series, I go, that's the trans city councilman from Golden Girls. It's a very weird episode. It does not hold up, but like it's a lovely.
It's not as bad as some of the other ones that don't hold up, but it's.
There's very few that don't. Yeah, he's also he's also in he also plays the Klingon ambassador in Voyage Home, the one that's always yelling. So he's great. Like, he's a good actor. Really lovely range. But
there will be no peace as long as Kirk lives.
Good.
Yeah. But
I am Drawl.
Yeah.
All you need is a rickety bridge. That'll take it out.
I mean, apparently. Yeah.
But But I think JMS was really sick. I think these are them. They said he was really sick when he was writing these, like with the flu. So I think that explains some of the dink-a-dink.
Yeah. No, for sure. There's a lot of dink.
Not to get all technical.
Not to get all technical. It's a professional writing term, dink-a-dink.
There's a lot of flu in Star Series. I'm gonna give him 3.
Yeah, it's a 3 for me too. Yeah.
It's a 4 for me.
Ooh, come on, 4.
Come on, 4.
It's a 4 for me as well.
Oh.
Mostly for the dinkadink.
The Dinkadink.
Mostly
The Dinkadink makes it.
Season 1, episode 20, Babylon Squared. Babylon 4 reappears at the same place it disappeared 4 years earlier. What a coincidence. And Sinclair and Garibaldi lead an expedition to evacuate the crew. Meanwhile, Delenn is summoned by the Grey Council. They inform her that they have selected a new leader. Her.
The Mimbari
Dun,
are
dun, dun.
so dumb.
How
Like-
dumb are they?
We want you to be our leader, and you turn it down, and so then we're gonna kick you off the council. Like how? What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get your bone heads out of your ass. Like, what are you
Easy.
talking about? She doesn't want to be the leader. She wants to keep doing what she's doing, which you know is important. Like,
Yeah.
they piss me off.
Yeah.
But did she solve the riddle? Because if she didn't, then she can't get in.
Right.
Yes, she did. Yeah. She solved that Rubik's Cube outside the door.
Somebody tell her, girl, it's a stamp. The answer is a stamp.
It's a
Damn.
stamp.
This episode does introduce the most annoying character in this episode, and we all know it's Zathras. I'm sorry, it's Zathras. This guy is fucking annoying. Like, he is Barkley levels annoying to me. Like,
Not the one.
Not the one.
not it. This Yoda talk, this third person thing, this like, oh, I'm this weird goblin character. Like, fuck it, I can't. Like, I can't. I know these important. I don't fucking care. I don't give a shit. No. Like, if I would have saw that, and if I was a producer on this, I'd be like, this is not it. I would have gone to JMS and been like, let's up your cold medicine because mama. I don't know what this was. This sleep paralysis demon you decided to bring into the fucking show? Absolutely
Make
not.
this Ewok less annoying, please.
Girl, what the fuck? Like, it's like a character from the movie Willow. I'm like, get it out of here. Like, what the fuck is this? It's so stupid.
Yub nub.
Otherwise, I like this episode. I like this episode a lot. It's just that character.
I wasn't sure you
Oh
were
my
going
God.
Zathras or if you were going the acting commander of Babylon 4. Because that dude's fucking
Yeah.
annoying too.
That
Yeah.
dude's annoying too. But Zathras takes the cake on it. This guy is like
Zathras is if Barkley
Zathras
and Neela
not
had a baby.
literally, and that baby survived like fetal alcohol syndrome or something. Like, I don't know what this thing, like, I don't know what's going on. Like, there's something happened here. Like, there is something wrong with him. I can't. Like, it's too much. I can't.
It's too much.
Sorry. No. Get Zathras out of here. But
No.
that guy's also annoying too. But this guy,
Yeah.
ugh. I have strong feelings about Zathras, apparently. He
Yeah.
keeps showing up.
Showing up. I know this is an important episode, but
Yeah.
They do it better in 2 seasons.
they do.
Yes,
but
they
I
do.
didn't like that one either. You
Mm.
know, me and timey wimey, like, just I immediately go, oh, I'm not listening. Where are my potato chips?
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
so
they're
I
more
showed
reliable
them.
because they don't time travel.
Yeah. True. But I just I didn't and I'm with you on Zathras. I was like, what is this?
Yeah. I
don't
do
know why-
like how the guy that's the commander of Babylon 4 looks like when Picard, like that one what was the episode where with Riker with the alien that like sends him, like gives him an alternate future. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
The one with that combat. He looks like Picard, where he's supposed to be from the future when he's an admiral.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got
Future
the
and
weird
perfect,
clip-on
yeah.
thing and the nasty beard, which is really funny
Yep.
to me. But yeah. Anyway, fun
Yeah,
connection.
to me, he
Star
just looks
Trek
like
there.
the guy
Yeah.
you don't put in charge of anything. Because he's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I'm like, you're not
Yeah.
inspiring my confidence, sir.
Yeah.
I'm gonna-
Like nothing
Well, I think
is in charge.
he says at one point he was there as the commander during final construction. So maybe he wasn't intended to be the commander of the operational station.
But like shouldn't be in charge of so
Yeah,
so instead of being in charge of a well-built station, you're actually building it and you're acting like that? Like
Yeah,
that
you
makes it
want
even worse.
Yeah,
you don't want nervous Nelly like building your station.
Yeah.
Like
No.
No.
I'm
Where
like,
you're just like, where does this door go? Whoops.
I don't
It was like,
know.
It was like, this is the fourth one we're building. Give it to that guy. Like,
Yeah.
it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
It's the fourth one. Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Fourth time's the charm, right?
I also because of I don't know if it's graphics of the time. It still confounds me that Babylon 4 is bigger than Babylon 5.
Right.
It was also intended to be mobile.
Oh.
Oh, really?
I believe the original, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Because the original idea, his original pitch was not like there was a whole thing where where like we were actually going to move from one space station to another. It's complicated, it's convoluted, but Babylon 5 was essentially going to end, and he was going to do another 5-year show called Babylon Prime on a different space station. It was going to be 4 brought forward. Like it's yeah. Anyway, 4 was going to, instead of just having thrusters to maintain orbit, was actually going to be able to move.
Yeah.
And I believe that was part of his original kind of design of Babylon 4. I know I've taken us way down a rabbit hole, but yes, it was ginormous and could fly.
Yeah. And for those reasons, I give it 3 Star Furies.
Yeah, it's a 3 for me as well.
Garibaldi was annoying in this episode. And Sinclair. So they drop it to 3 for me.
Joanne?
It's a 2 for me, dog.
Ooh. Ooh.
Time travel gets cut in half.
It does.
Time travel this.
Season 1, episode 21. The Quality of Mercy. Dr. Franklin investigates an unlicensed medical practitioner in Down Below, while Londo takes Lanier on a tour of Babylon 5's seedier locales. And in the brig, a convicted murderer waits for his sentence to be carried out. The death of personality.
With Mrs. Robinson.
Yeah. June Lockhart showing up.
June Lockhart.
It's a bummer that they didn't find a way for her to have a scene with Lanier.
Yes.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You remind me of someone. Anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
For those who don't know, she was, like I said earlier, Mrs. Robinson from Lost in Space. And of course, Lanier was Will Robinson. Give him a scene. It's like Strange New Worlds telling us that Pelia is like besties with Spock's mom, and then she's literally on the. God damn it, that still pisses me off. But that's to discuss in 2 weeks. This episode is fun. It introduces an alien device that will that will like you're gonna wonder about it.
Okay.
And they use it in a couple of episodes, and you're gonna keep wondering about it.
Mhm.
I do want to just point out that Maureen Robinson was Dr. Maureen Robinson, not Mrs. Robinson.
Yes, thank you. Sorry.
You're welcome. How dare you?
I mean, they made it more clear in the Netflix reboot.
Stan.
Which
It was a stamp. Stamp was the answer.
Oh.
I got that or not.
Oh, God. This episode has has a good quote from Franklin and Ivanova. I wrote it down. It says, next, you can start removing your clothes. And Ivanova says, not without dinner and flowers. And I'm like, so good. That's the only thing I wrote about this episode. I just kind of meh, but yeah.
Yeah.
I do like
Aliens?
help him.
Until the end. Like I wasn't sure where this was going, but then by the end I was just like, work, mama, work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, kill that criminal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take his lifeblood. Get
Kill
rid of
it.
your shakes and go home.
Right. Yeah.
It was
It's a
fine.
2 for me.
Yeah, it's a 2.
It's not bad. It's not great. It's a 2.
I struggle with this one because I feel like it could have. There was an opportunity to actually make a point that didn't feel like it was made properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They kind of explore the mind wipe thing a little bit more in future episodes, and because I am fascinated by the existence of telepaths in general, but also just like that as a punishment rather than capital punishment or life in prison. And I have torn feelings because it, in a way, you are killing the person, but not actually.
You're killing them without murdering them.
With
Yeah.
Yeah.
death by
It's a.
personality or whatever. Yeah.
I think the reason I struggle with it is that it's a rare instance in Babylon 5 where they've jumped to the future and made a change in something that is inherently wrong with current society, but didn't make it better. Like,
Yeah.
like you've
Right.
just replaced one problem with another. Like you didn't
Yeah.
actually solve anything.
I needed a little more of like no amount of therapy, no medication. Like this person's personality, his psychosis is so deeply ingrained that the only way to help him and not have him in prison is to wipe away those disordered parts of his personality
Mhm.
in a more nuanced way than I just said. But like
Right.
I needed more dialogue of like the telepath has been with him, the psychiatrist has been with him. Like there is no other choice. Like therapy cannot fix this. Medication cannot fix this.
And it feels like, I guess now I'm going to contradict myself because I think maybe it was either brilliant foreshadowing or unintentionally, or like a brilliant accident, that I would think with the advancement of the human mind where telepaths exist and the psychor exists, that where conventional therapy wouldn't be able to address certain psychoses, a therapist who was a telepath might be able to help in a way that they couldn't prior to being telepaths.
Yeah.
Yet,
Right.
why would psychor do something that's good for people? Because
Right.
it's a horrible
Right.
organization.
Yeah.
I don't
Like,
know,
maybe
Mr.
it was-
Psychor agent. Why would your people do something as you're
I'm
wearing
on
the
the
badge?
run. I just like to wear the badge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is one of those instances where the the theme that JMS is introducing um is part of the long con.
Mhm.
And so I think some of the details, you know what I mean, get, to your points, kind of muddied or lost or not made as effectively as they could, because he's really proud. Ultimately, he's not making that point, I think, more than he wants to raise this theme of, and it's come up, I guess, before, but I think he wants to raise this theme about, you know, well, the power of life and death and force and taking one life and giving it to another. And we know that becomes really important. So I think he's trying to set up his long game and sacrifices some of the dinky dinks.
Yeah.
The dunk-
Yeah.
yeah. So there's that, right? But
Will, you gave this one a 2, right?
Yes, this is a 2 for me. Yeah.
Joanne, what was your rating?
I didn't rate it. I
Would
don't
you like
know.
to?
I think it's a 2 for me.
Okay.
Although I
Well,
really like the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These episodes always seem to stick the Babylon
They
5
stick
is good for
the
always
landing.
they always stick the landing. Which I think sometimes Star Trek kind of, like, if we're comparing to the other series we review, but like sometimes Star Trek doesn't always stick the landing. It feels like the journey is sometimes better than the actual arrival at the point. But
Yeah.
Babylon 5 seems to do the opposite, where they always seem to stick the landing. Like I always find myself really enjoying the wrap up of these episodes,
Yeah.
but not how we got to it. Because sometimes I'm like, did you write this first, and then you kind of work backwards to it? And
And I think the answer is yes. I think, you know what I mean? Because I
Yeah.
did. I
Yeah.
mean, he had I think the arc was mine, and I think he was always just, he had a vision and was always
Yeah.
kind of working toward that, and then dealt with whatever, you know what I mean? All of the nuances a la minute, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's where the clunkiness kind of comes up
On account of the
Yeah.
dinky
on account of the dinky dinks.
Yeah. But you're right, yeah, 'cause it's also why he had all of the trapdoors for everyone. For
Yep.
should
Yeah.
there be a problem during the course of production? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Turned
But
out there were
yeah,
problems during the course of production.
and there were problems.
Mhm.
But I think that's exactly it, Will. No, he did. He's like, oh, no, we're going here.
Yeah. Yeah. But if he does it on a macro sense as a writer and as like a showrunner, producer, creator of the show, but he does it on a micro level each episode too. So I
Yeah.
always find like the end of the episode is really where it lands. But
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this one is still a 2, but yeah, I do like the ending as well.
Yeah.
Season 1, episode 22, Chrysalis. A Narn outpost adjacent to Centauri space ignites a conflict between the two races when Londo gets an offer to take care of the problem. Meanwhile, Garibaldi tries to find out what his informant stumbled upon that got him killed. Probably our weakest of these summaries because I feel like it leaves out a few things.
Also, every time they have the word "meanwhile" in it, I just always hear that word "meanwhile." I always hear,
I want it to pop up in like yellow, like where it looks like it's taken from a comic book.
It's very like Super Friends. Yeah. Meanwhile,
very
at
Super
the Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
Fortress of Doom. Whatever.
I like the cliffhanger. I like where this leaves us.
Mhm.
I just don't. It's what 46 minutes. I don't care for the first 44. Like
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it sticks the landing. It sticks the landing. Like it really does. Like I didn't have anything on here. I didn't write any notes about this episode. I just don't
remember it, and I don't go back to it much. So when I did watch it a couple weeks ago, I was just like, it was kind of boring until the end.
Yeah, until the end.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that it doesn't introduce it, but it brings it back and sort of sets the stage for the occasional dip that Babylon 5 likes to take in making you feel like you're on Earth watching a news story.
Yeah.
Like where you hear a news person in the background because it's on the monitor, or you hear like there's these really cool like world immersive moments that are just kind of neat, for lack of a better. I hate to use that word to describe art, but there it is.
It does feel like you kind of receive some information third hand, which is kind of interesting. Yeah.
But like I said, 44 of meh, and then 2 of neat.
They kill the president.
Right.
I'm gonna keep my thoughts to myself.
Yeah.
And the reveal, the kind of like soft reveal of the shadows in this episode is really cool too with Morden, because we get him early on and we're like, oh, we get him 9 episodes prior, and he comes back and you're like, this weird guy, and now there's like, he feels more sinister and more terrifying. Is kind of I don't think he's the enemy, he's an antagonist. He gets a lot of action to happen, especially later. But like he's like one of the more after a rewatch of this, I'm like, oh, this guy's this is like he's a cool character. Terrible, but cool.
I'll also say, like, Stan, to your point, like the death of President Santiago, like, was a shock. Like that was not, not where I thought we were going in this. Like that was not where I thought the cliffhanger was going to happen, and didn't think about. And it comes up later, particularly when Sheridan arrives next season. There are some interesting like comments on who was in favor of Sheridan versus who wanted Sinclair in or out, and like you start to realize that the conspiracy we didn't know was happening between the vice president and the president was like being built into this way before we ever acknowledged it. And so it's really cool to see that foreshadowing.
Do you happen to know, like, because you've mentioned this a couple of times and I've heard it as well, JMS always had like a back door for like if shit goes down, whatever. Did
Girl, it was a trap door, not a back door.
Whatever.
With those back
Whatever.
It wasn't a back shot. It wasn't a back shot.
It wasn't a back shot.
Push the button. Push the button.
JMS
Wow.
has
Want those fuckers.
all of the buttons. So my question is, was the trap, did he have a trap door for Sheridan? And was it that he was a president loyalist? That would be interesting if he was like on board with President Clark.
I don't think so. I've never read, I think because I think Sheridan was the trapdoor. Like I don't know that there was ever kind of like Ivanova was a trapdoor for Fukushima. I don't know that there was anything for him not working out in the story, or for the actor not working out, or for production having an issue. Like I don't think so. But it's clearly stated in the first episode of season 1, which we'll talk about at some point.
TBD.
Where Sheridan was, I think he was Clark's first choice.
Yeah.
Or no, I'm sorry, he was Santiago's first choice, but Clark supported it and wanted him in the position.
Yeah.
Which is ironic because it sort of becomes
his downfall.
Clark's downfall.
Yeah.
The thorn in his side.
Well, for the very fact that we're talking about anything but this episode, I'm going to give it 2 Star Furies.
Yeah. Again, it sticks the landing, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
So because it is kind of boring, so it is like a 2. It's a 2. I would even, honestly, like, I would go. It's a 1.5. It does the most of this episode's pretty boring until the last like 2 minutes. Like it's a long road to get to that last bit. So I would go 1.5, honestly.
Okay. All right. That's season 1, y'all. Would you like my micro Babylon 5 scorecard?
Yes, please.
We launched Host Squadron 3 times. Oops, we mentioned Star Trek 10 times. And we rated as only telepaths could 3 times. So on 3 of these episodes, we were all 4 in agreement on the rating. For the rest of them, we were individual. Thinking for ourselves.
And have you done the math?
No.
No.
And I didn't last time either.
And I won't make you.
I didn't last time either, but I will say the ones that we agreed upon, I said we agreed 3 times, right? 2 of those 3 times it was a 2 across the board, and only once was it 3s across the board. But we didn't give anything all 4s or all 1s. So pretty good for season 1 of Babylon 5.
Yes. When people ask me about Babylon 5 to get into it, I always suggest they start with season 2 and then come back to season 1 as like a prequel. Or if you could, I tell people either do that, or if you don't mind some really, really cheesy graphics, because like there's a distinct quality jump in season 2. Like even more than season 3, then 4, then 5, because like there's a quality jump to each, but like between 1 and 2 is the most extreme to me.
I will say there's a distinct improvement, particularly with like lighting and just the visualization of everything looks better. There's something about the grungy look of the Gathering.
Yeah, that's why I think it works as a prequel.
Yeah, like I love that, and I kind of wish that had. I realized that would have been incredibly expensive to stick with in terms of like getting the character lighting correct, but making the room look darker. Like it's a complicated.
It's different. Yeah, lighting's very hard because it does go from TV movie to high school theater production pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like it moves it. Yeah. It does get better.
Yes.
Well, it doesn't get any worse. I wouldn't say
But
it gets any.
But it also gets bright. Like it gets better, but brighter.
But
The
it gets
grunginess
bright.
of the Gathering.
Yeah,
I
it gets
fucking love it.
brighter. Yeah.
I love it.
But
Absolutely love it.
yeah, the Gathering is so good. It's like just visually, it's so good. But yeah, it does. Once you get into season 1, it's like, oh, you can really see the plywood set. You know, like it's the same corridor shot 15 different ways. But yeah, it's as we get further on to 2, 3, 4, and 5, it does get a little better. I would say into season 5, I think it really reaches like close to TNG like levels of production. Like it gets pretty close, I want to say. I mean, it's still not nearly that level, but it definitely starts to look better. Yeah.
I'm on the other side of it though. Again, I'm being controversial yet brave. I like the low production quality of season 1 because it is very, like you said, very community theater based, but it forces you, I think, to pay attention to the story and to the character. Like I mean, in season 1 is so world building, but I found, quite frankly, season 1 to be the most interesting in terms of theme and story and character than I have the next. I'm at season 4 now, but the slicker it looks, the less interested or the less nuanced, I'll say, the story became for me. So I'm like,
it's a good point.
Yeah.
But they have to focus on the story. They can't get away with flashy.
They
visuals.
can't get away with flashy visuals, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say that they kind of lean into that. There's a few moments. I don't remember if it's in the later seasons of Babylon 5 or it's in one of the movies, but there's like weird points where there's a battle scene, but they're yelling and you don't hear it. You just hear music, and they just cut to like people yelling to ship battle to people yelling, and it's just this bad music over it. And I'm like, no, that's terrible. But they can't do that at this point, so there's more story involved.
Yeah.
It's a good point. Yeah.
Well, friends, that brings us to the end of season 1. Join us. Who knows when? We'll do a Salon 5 starting season 2 in a month-ish or so. Who's to say?
Whenever the jump point opens.
Yes. We'll be waiting for that jump point to open. Will's already is. And with that,
if it stays open, you don't have to get it open. That's all I'm saying.
That's true. I don't have an outro for this. Like what's a live long and prosper for the Babylon 5 universe?
We live for the one.
Oh yeah, we live for the one. We will hopefully not die for the one for a very, very, very long time. Good night.
All hands abandon ship. Proceed to the nearest evacuation zone immediately.